How would you describe the program?
I would describe it as something that's like pretty much new. It's meant to change the way Newark has been going about teaching people financial literacy, about financial freedom, financial empowerment. I think it's also about making sure that, I guess, not only just kids are learning, but that once they learn, their parents will also learn, you know? So I think it's about just changing the whole scope of, urban kids and urban people not knowing about how to use their money.
What was your most memorable moment in the program?
I think it's when I literally first got here and I had to do an interview with them about the program. And I didn't even know I was going to be in it until they just threw me back there. They were just like, go have an interview with Damon and Keon. I was like, oh, okay. And then when they told me about the program, I was like, sound good to me. I mean, not really a financial literacy person, but why not try something new? So,
Why do you think this program is important?
it's important because a lot of people, contrary to popular belief, I think, don't realize that a lot of teenagers do not know how to manage or save their money or budget. And it doesn't help either because their parents may not know how to do it either. So if you have your parents having money problems, and the kids see that, then they don't know how to deal with their money either. So you have to have somebody teaching them, even if it's just the basics, like teaching them how to do something as little as, how do you go about spending your money during the week or during the day? How much do you spend the whole month versus how much you actually make? I think that's important for anybody, whether you're an adult or a teenager.
Got your message across for that it resonated?
I think I did. I wish I would have been able to get it across more, like aside from focusing on just the bank accounts. I think with the timing and the delays for finding sites and trying to get people bank accounts, thinking they may or may not have it, it kind of took away from the time we had to actually teach them more things besides just how much money you're making, how do you save it. And I think they would have benefited more from just learning about saving and budgeting, and then actually practicing that versus worrying about the bank accounts.
What would you like to learn about financially?
I really want to learn how to invest in stocks and make money while I'm sleeping. I guess that's how people say it. Make money while you're sleeping. So be able to invest in stocks and bonds. My dad, he does that with Wells Fargo or whatever bank he does. So seeing him do that, I'm like, oh, I need to do that too. Especially the way the economy and stuff is going. You gotta have a way to have money behind you while you're making a little bit of money you're making, actually working. So.
What are your long-term goals for the program?
I want to make sure that I do keep wraps up with the program, even though I may not be able to help out as much because I'll be 2 hours away in another school. But whatever I can do, I don't mind helping. My goal for the long term of the program would be to make sure that we at least touch 90% of the schools and the students to teach them about financial literacy, because a lot of the schools don't make it mandatory to learn financial literacy. Have a financial literacy class, and then depending on who's teaching it, they may not get the message. So I just hope that they find the right people that the students can relate to and understand and listen to teach them financial literacy, and it have more of an impact on them.
Do you see the transformation happening in Newark right now?
In terms of the financial part? Or
No, just
overall?
Geographically, just...
Yeah. Yeah. I remember even freshman year of college, when I came back, I was just looking where's all this stuff coming from? It's wow, Newark is definitely getting up there, especially downtown. Everything is just, they're bringing everything in, all types of people, businesses. I mean, it's good for Newark, but I hope it's also to the benefit of Newark.
Do you feel like it's becoming better or worse? Or if the change is for the better or for the worse?
Right now, I think it's for the better. I think they have good intentions. They want Newark to thrive and they want all these businesses here to benefit us. But I think in the long term, it may not be a good thing, depending on prices going up for rent and people not really being hired as much as they say that, Newark residents are being hired. And I feel like depending on how that goes, people may feel like they can't afford to stay here or that they can't thrive here like they would want to, so they would feel like they have to leave, versus it being oh yeah, Newark is thriving, I can buy some property here, or I can live in one of the condos just like the people from wherever else, and I can stay here and thrive. I don't know, it depends.
What are your plans after the program?
I'm going back to school. I have to work. I'm in my last year college, so my main focus right now is just to graduate and make sure that I get exactly what I want, or at least find something that I know I'm passionate about, and use not even my degree, just use what I know and like what I've learned and gain more skills to figure out what I want, and then find a job and a career or like what I love based off of that. So I don't know, it depends on what happens. Only time will tell.
What did you learn about yourself in the last 6 weeks?
I learned so much. I learned about like having patience. I learned about like how to deal with different types of people. I've worked with people, but not the way I had to deal with people this summer. Like people with attitudes, people who were like really excited about the program, people who, they did everything in their power to distract you or, upset you, but you have to ignore it even though you really don't want to. So I think I learned like about myself how I can be impatient depending on the person and what I'm dealing with, but I also realized how much I care about kids in their futures, like making sure that their futures are bright just like mine was. When I was younger, I was able to do programs and learn different things and do NJIT and all stuff like that, but the way things are going, a lot of kids don't get that opportunity, and it made me realize that I really want kids here to thrive and to get all the opportunities they can get.
Would you work for the program again next year?
Yes and no. So yes, because I really want the program to get better. Like, it can't be the same thing it was this year, being that it was a pilot program. So, like, things were really off, You got two sides trying to come together, work things out. It wasn't really balancing the way it should. But I would want to do it next year so that I can see it and make sure that it's getting to the place it needs to be and nobody's, like, trying to mess it up. No, because it just depends on where I am once I graduate, Like, part of me doesn't want to deal with the stress of it just because of, like, the little bit of experience here, but overall, I wouldn't mind coming back.
Did you have an impact on the participants?
I think I did. I think that a lot of the kids were listening, and I think just being able to talk to them, not as their teacher, but just as somebody who is around their age group, and just say, hey, listen, let's sit down and talk about money, or, what do you want to learn about credit, or what you want to learn about saving and budgeting. It made it easier for me to talk to them and for them to be receptive to that information, versus, say, if a banker came and taught them, they'd be sitting there like this. Oh, okay, that's what? I don't get it. So, like, I think that part was just cool, to be able to get them to listen to me and not feel awkward or feel bad or feel like me talking wasn't getting to them.
How would you make the program better for next year?
I would make sure that we have a team of people who understand the audience that they're trying to deal with. I feel like, for me, from my experience with it, certain parts of it wasn't working because I feel like the people were making decisions based off of what they thought would work versus the area they were in and the type of kids they were dealing with. I would also make sure that both sides of this floor are connected, like working together and staying on top of each other and make sure everything's organized. And I will also make sure that we start earlier, give us more time to, make errors and fix whatever is broken and, go from there. I think us having the delay kind of affected a lot of the things that we ended up doing. And I would probably change the whole thing with my path. It wasn't a bad program, but it I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just, I don't know if it was the timing, but I just didn't see a benefit of it. at the time.